Welcome to AffairsCloud. My name is Vikas Rana. We are one-stop solution for current affairs. You can find Crack Current Affairs course on our application exclusively for current affairs, where you will get daily, weekly, monthly content on regular basis. Use the code Vikas10 and get 10% additional discount while purchasing the course. Also, students, follow us on Telegram and Instagram. The link for the same are mentioned in our description. This video has both English and Hindi. The first part is English and second part is Hindi. Timestamps are mentioned in the description below.
Hello everyone, how are you all? I hope you are all good. So students, in this video we are discussing important current affairs for indexes and defense for December month. Session will be quite interesting and important, students. Stay tuned with us till the end. Let's start. The first we are discussing is indexes here. As per the Moody's rating, APAC Power 2026 outlook that was recently released in the November month, India is projected to register how much percent GDP growth rate? So India is expected to register as 7% GDP growth rate. Next, Australia-based Lowy Institute released the 7th edition of the Asia Power Index in November. Choose the country that does not appear in the top 5 rankings as per the report. Among the following, it is Australia that does not or is not among the top 5 ranking. USA is on the top, then China, then it is India, then it is Japan, and then Russia on the 5th position. This is the 7th edition of the Asia Power Index. Next, find out the revised GDP forecast set by the Fitch Ratings for India for FY26 in their Global Economic Outlook for December report, raised from their earlier estimate of 6.9%. It is 7.4%. Next, financial advisory firm Arton Capital has released the Passport Index 25 in December, in which India was ranked 67th globally. Identify the country that topped the index as the world's strongest passport. It is UAE passport, that is the world's strongest passport, and the rank of India here stands at 67th position. And according to them, we have visa-free access to 74 countries. Next, mark the correct statement regarding the World Inequality Report released in December 2025. Among the following, option A is right, B is right, C is wrongly mentioned here. Next, according to the Global AI Vibrancy Tool released by the Stanford Institute for Human-Centered AI in December, India secured the 3rd position. Which country ranked first in the Global AI Vibrancy Index? So it is United States of America that has secured the 1st position in the Global AI Vibrancy Index. So USA on the top position in this index, then it is China, then it is India, then South Korea, and then UK. Next, NSO under the Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation has released the Periodic Labour Force Survey Monthly Bulletin, which reported that India's unemployment rate has declined to 4.7% in the November month. Next, RBI, they released the 10th edition of the Handbook of Statistics on Indian States 24-25. Which of the following is not among the newly added state-wise tables in the edition? Among the following, it is state-wise inflation expectation survey of household here. Right, and this basically it provides a comprehensive time series of the socio-economic data from 1951 onwards. Next, which organization has released the report titled Internationalization of Higher Education in India, Prospects, Potential and Policy Recommendations in December, that is aimed at making India a global hub for higher education and research by 2047. It is National Institute for Transforming India, that is Niti Aayog. The study center is on the concept of the internationalization at home, that is focusing on National Education Policy 2020 and how we can bring global education at the institutional levels in India. Next, these were your indexes. Now students, let's move to defense question. First is, which country partnered with India in November for 7,995 crore rupees follow-on support deal for the Indian Navy's MH-60R Seahawk helicopter? It is United States of America. Next, name the institution that partnered with the DGNAI, that is Directorate General of the Naval Armament Inspection of the Indian Navy and Apollo Microsystems Limited in November to develop next generation indigenous naval armament systems. So name that institution. It is Indian Institute of Technology of Chennai. Next, is name the shipbuilder that delivered the 4th edition of the Nilgiri class frigate INS Taragiri to the Indian Navy in November month. It is Madgaon Dock Shipbuilders Limited. Then which fast petrol vessel was delivered by the Goa Shipyard Limited to the Indian Coast Guard in November as the third vessel in their series? It is ICGS Amulya, Indian Coast Guard ship Amulya, and it was handed over in Vasco da Gama in Goa. Next, in November, India has launched Operation Sagar Bandhu during the cyclone Ditwa that was in Sri Lanka, and this Operation Sagar Bandhu was launched by India in order to provide humanitarian aid and disaster relief to Sri Lanka. Next, identify the country that partnered with India to conduct the 14th edition of the joint military exercise Equivalent held in December at Trivandrum, Kerala. The country here is Maldives. Next, name the defense public sector undertaking secured orders worth around 2400 crore rupees from Indian Army for the supply of anti-tank guided missiles and surface-to-air missiles in December. Name that defense public sector undertaking. It is Bharat Dynamics Limited. Next, where did the DRDO successfully conducted the high-speed rocket sled test of the fighter aircraft escape system in December? So, where was this conducted? It was in Chandigarh, Haryana. Then name the missile that achieved the successful combat launch of the Indian Army's Southern Command during the precision strike mission in the Bay of Bengal in December month. So the name here is BrahMos. BrahMos supersonic cruise missile. It was tested where? In Bay of Bengal. Next, where was the 10th edition of the India-Indonesia Joint Special Force Exercise Garuda Shakti conducted to enhance interoperability and strengthen the counter-terrorism readiness in December? So where was this 10th edition of the India-Indonesia Joint Special Force Military Exercise Garuda Shakti conducted? It was in Baklo, Himachal Pradesh. Next, name the country that is participating with India in the 5th edition of the joint military exercise Harimau Shakti commenced at the Mahajan Field Firing Range in Rajasthan. So it is Malaysia. Next is identify the organization that handed over 7 indigenous technologies developed under the TDF Technology Development Fund scheme to the Indian Armed Forces in December. So identify that organization. Which is that organization? It is DRDO. They handed over these technology. Then next, identify the peak that was successfully conducted for the first time by the Indian Army's Eastern Command Mountaineering Team in December month. The peak that we are talking about is Mount Kangato, that is in Arunachal Pradesh. Next, Zen Technologies, they secured 120 crore rupees contract from the Ministry of Defence in December to set up India's first combat training node. In which state will this CTN be established? This combat training node will be established in Madhya Pradesh. Then name the Indian Defence Public Sector undertaking that partnered with Lockheed Martin in December to establish a maintenance, repair and overhaul hub in Bengaluru, Karnataka for the Indian Air Force C-130J Super Hercules fleet. So which Indian company is setting up this? This is being set up by Tata Advanced Systems Limited. They are also setting up a plant in Dholera, that is a semiconductor fabrication unit plant. Dholera is in Gujarat. Next, in December, Colonel Prateek Roy of the Indian Army received the Geddes Gavel Award after completing the Defence Strategy and Studies course conducted in which country? It was in Australia. Then choose the private defence joint venture that partnered with the Indian Army through a memorandum of understanding in December to enhance indigenous drone capabilities. It is Raghu Vamsi Par East Automation Private Limited. Next, which country signed into a federal law a key military cooperation pact, the reciprocal exchange of the logistics support, that is RELOS agreement? So which countries has signed this RELOS agreement with India? It was signed between India and Russia. Next, what is the name of the dedicated gallery honoring the recipients of the Param Veer Chakra inaugurated by the President of India Draupadi Murmu ma'am at Rashtrapati Bhavan on Vijay Divas in December? So what is the name of the dedicated gallery here? The name here is, what is the name? Param Veer Dirgah. Next, identify the country's aerospace that participated with the Indian Air Force in the bilateral exercise Avia Indra in Delhi from 15 to 22nd of December. So it was Russia's aerospace force that participated with Indian Air Force in the exercise, that is Avia Indra. Where was this held? Location? It was in New Delhi. So these were your important current affairs, students. Now let's move to the revision part.
Indian states, Mandarin orange, locally known as Suntala, was granted the GI tag in November by DPIIT. So this Suntala, this is of West Bengal. This is basically a Mandarin or orange, correct, that recently got the GI tag by the name Santala. Next, 5 products from Tamil Nadu received the GI tag from GI registry. Which of the following is not among them? Among the following, if we see, Kanchipuram silk saree is not the product that got the GI tag from Tamil Nadu. Rest all of them are the products here. Next is identify the company that featured in the top 5% of the global steel companies and secured the 4th position in the steel sector as per the Dow Jones Sustainability Index Corporate Sustainability Assessment for FY25. Identify that company. It is Jindal Stainless Steel Limited. Also, Jindal Stainless Steel Limited secured the 4th position in the global steel sector and the 1st position in the stainless steel segment, achieving an environmental social governance score of 78. That is ESG rating of 78. Next, identify that PSU that emerged as the only Indian organization recognized among the global top 100 corporate startup stars 25 in December 2025. It is Bharat Petroleum Corporation Limited, BPCL. The recognized underscores the BPCL's dedication to startup partnership, technology adoption and innovation. Next, who received the inaugural Federation or inaugural FIFA Peace Award during the final draw ceremony for 2026 FIFA World Cup held in Washington DC, USA. So Donald Trump was honored here. Also the Peace Prize, that is Nobel Peace Prize, was given to Donald Trump. Can you tell me who gave this prize to Donald Trump? I can give you an option, hint that she's an opposition leader of Venezuela, right? She was honored with this Nobel Peace Prize, but later on she gifted or she handed over this prize to Donald Trump. Name her. This is your homework. Next, the Indian origin Chief Executive Officer Neil Mohan was named as the Times 2025 CEO of the Year. Leads which major global company? So he leads which company? He leads YouTube Incorporation. Next, who received the Global Humanitarian Award for Animal Welfare from the Global Humane Society in December for founding and leading the Wildlife Conservation Initiative Vantara. So who was honored here? Anand Ambani. This Vantara is located where? It is in Gujarat. Next, how many new members were added when UNESCO expanded their global network of learning cities in December? So a total of how many new members? 72 new members were added, bringing the total number of membership to 425 cities. This is across 91 countries. Next, who among the following was not presented with the Shilip Guru Award for 2024 during the Handicraft Award ceremony presided over by the President Draupadi Murmu ma'am in December? So who among the following was not presented here with this award? So among the following, Ajit Kumar Das was not presented. Rest all of them were presented with this award. This event was organized by the Ministry of Textiles. Next, which bank was named the Global Bank of the Year 25 by the Banker, the Financial Times publication in December? So which bank was named as the Global Bank of the Year? It is DBS Bank. Next, who was featured in the 2026 Forbes 30 Under 30 list in finance for contributions to data-driven financial innovation in December? So Arkin Gupta, right? He was featured in the 2026 Forbes 30 Under 30 list in finance for contributions to data-driven financial innovation in December. Next is choose the entity honored with the Person of the Year title for 2025 by the Time magazine in December. Right option is Architects of Artificial Intelligence. Right? So Architects of Artificial Intelligence has been named as the Person of the Year 2025, recognizing the individuals who designed, developed and advanced modern AI technology. Next, identify the wetland that along with Kopra Jalashay was designated as India's 95th and 96th Ramsar site under the Ramsar Convention on Wetlands in 1971, right? And this announcement was made in December 2025 lately. So one is your Kopra Jalashay, another is Silishe Lake, right? These are the 95th and 96th position here. Moving on. Identify the traditional handspun and handwoven cotton fabric from Andhra Pradesh that was granted the GI tag in December. So identify that traditional handspun and handwoven cottage. It is Ponduru Khadi. Correct? And it is KVIC, that is Khadi and Village Industries Commission. They submitted their declaration for Ponduru Khadi GI registration. Next, name the organization that emerged as the first Indian recipient of the Institute of Electrical and Electronics Engineers Standards Association Corporate Award in December 2025. Right option is Center for Development of Telematics, that is CDOT. Then in December, Hurun India, in collaboration with IDFC First Private Banking, has released the third edition of India's top 200 self-made entrepreneurs of the Millennia 2025 list. Who among the following entrepreneurs did not feature among the top 5 in this list? Among the following, if we see Vijay Shekhar Sharma, thus Paytm's chairman and CEO, who has not featured in this list here. Next, who was the CRPF officer conferred with the Home Minister's Efficiency Medal, that is Kendriya Grah Mantri Dakshata Padak, in December for exemplary service and outstanding contribution to the national security? It is Dinesh Khattak. Next, name the family that topped the Bloomberg World's Richest Families report released by the Bloomberg in December, in which the Ambani family, ranked 8th, was the only Indian family to featured in this list. Right? So which family topped this Bloomberg World Richest Family report? It is the Walton family. Correct? They own 44% of the Walmart. Then their net worth is close to $513.4 billion. Next, who became the first learning disabled artist to win the 2025 Turner Prize for Contemporary Art in Bradford, UK in December? So who became the first learning disabled artist here? Naina Kalu. Next, identify the software as a service platform that backed the Ask Private Hurun India Unicorn and Future Unicorn Award in December and was recognized as Cheetah in the India Cheetah Gazelle Unicorn Index. Right option is Innoviti Technologies. Next is identify the Malayalam publisher who was conferred with the Knight of the Order of Arts and Letters, that is France's highest civilian award, in December for promoting literary and cultural exchange between India and France. So identify that Malayalam publisher. Who is that Malayalam publisher we are talking about? Ravi DC. Next, identify the airport that was awarded the best international airport in 2025 by Travel Plus Leisure India and South Asia at the 14th edition of India's Best Awards held in December. Right option is Singapore Changi Airport. Next, who ranked the first on the Hurun India rich list with an estimated net worth of $5.7 billion as announced in December? Right option is Jayashree Ulal. So these are your important